Hey there, scholars. We are going to be learning about the different life cycles of beetles, crickets, radish, and lima bean. So in your packet pickup, you have a paper that says how are the life cycles of a beetle and a cricket the same? And you have these boxes. Go ahead and get that out. And then you have different pictures of beetle, cricket, and I went ahead and included the butterfly. So we're going to do the life cycle of a beetle and the cricket. Okay, so go ahead and write those at the top. Now, I'm going to look at the life cycle of a beetle. So if you notice, the beginning stage is the eggs. They both have eggs. Now, eggs are definitely different shape, but, you know, the cricket egg is kind of more like this. Okay, and I'm going to label it egg. All right, now for the beetle, it goes through something called a larva stage, which is where it's called a mealworm. Okay, so I'm going to draw an arrow and draw my mealworm. So it's called a larva stage, but for beetles specifically, we call them mealworms. Okay, now with a cricket, you just have a baby cricket. Okay, whereas with our larva, eventually we're going to look like something complete. It'll look completely different. But as soon as it hatches out of the egg, it looks like a baby cricket, and it's called a nymph. So the drawing is going to be kind of annoying. Excuse me. Sorry, you have to draw this, but yeah. Okay. So it's called a nymph. Okay. Now, after larva, for a beetle, you have something called a pupa. So it's basically the mealworm going into this stage of a complete metamorphosis, like completely changing in what it is. Whereas the cricket, it's still looking like what it is, and it's still growing from nymph. And then you have the adult cricket. Okay, please. Sorry about my cricket, but yeah. Okay, so you have egg, nymph, and then adult. And then the adult lays the eggs in a cricket. But in a beetle, you have egg, larva, pupa, and then out of pupa comes this gross-looking beetle. Okay, this is called adult. Okay, but then, of course, because this is a specific, it's called a beetle. So, beetle goes through 4 stages, whereas really a cricket kind of goes only through 3. Okay, so once again, here is the beetle: egg, larva, pupa, adult. But then beetle, it's egg, nymph, adult. Okay, now I want to just bring up the butterfly. A butterfly goes through egg, larva, but their larva is called caterpillar. And their pupa is called chrysalis. And then, of course, their adult is called a butterfly. But it still matches with the beetle in that it's egg, larva, pupa, adult. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. But it's egg, mealworm, pupa, beetle. Egg, caterpillar, pupa, butterfly. But it's still the same. So now let's talk about how are the life cycles of a beetle and a cricket the same. Both start with egg. Both end in adult. Both go through changes. Okay. Now, how are they different? Well, a beetle goes through something called complete Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is called morphosis. Metamorphosis means change. So this goes through a complete change. Whereas a cricket, this is called incomplete metamorphosis. Okay? So here, I want you to write complete metamorphosis. The complete metamorphosis is because of the pupa, whereas this is incomplete. It's not really changing. I mean, a nymph is just a baby adult. Like, it's not like, oh, I was once this, now I'm this. Okay? So I want you to glue this in your journal. All right, now let's look at the other page. Where is the other page? I had it. Here it is. All right. Now we're looking at a lima bean and radish. Okay. Now, in your packet pickup, you should have the life cycle of a bean plant and a life cycle of the radish. So, both of them have to start out with seeds. Okay, kind of like eggs. Both life cycles start off with eggs, and that one, this is seeds. Now, both of them, okay, so let's look at a lima bean. The seeds absorb water, the roots push through the seed coat. The seedling is a new plant that grows out of the new ground. So we have something called seedling. Okay, so I'll just, like, here's your seed, and then remember, it grows like this, and then it'll come out eventually. Okay, it'll push through, it'll come out. Okay, then we have, they like to call it flower or plant. Okay, so it'll come out and have leaves and things like that. Then eventually, then you'll have something called mature flower or plant. When it's called mature flower and plant, the difference is it has leaves. I mean, it has seeds that it can drop for new ones to grow. And then the cycle starts again. Okay, so now with radish, okay, so here's like a better picture that was in your packet pickup. You have seed germinate, seedling, adult plant, and then flower on adult plant. So once you have the seeds ready to drop or the fruit ready to drop, the next, it can start all over. Now with the radish, it was kind of hard finding. Oh, here we go. There's a way better picture of a radish. Okay, so you have seed, seedling, then you have mature plant or flower, and then mature plant, flower, and then see the seeds up here ready for the next one to grow. So for radish, we have seeds, seedling. So like what we can do is we can draw like, a little bit coming out. The radish is starting to grow. Then we can just call it plant or flower, like it's growing, and then obviously our radish is growing underground. Okay. Then you have mature plant or flower, and in that situation, once again, it is able to drop seeds for another one to grow. And then the cycle starts again. Oh, sorry. All right. You know what? Let me just use my Sharpie so y'all can see. Now it says, how are they the same? Both start with seed. Both have seedling. Both have plant. Both mature and create and actually produce new seeds. All right, now how are they different? So when we eat a radish, that comes from the root of the plant. When we eat a lima bean, we're actually eating the seeds of the plant. Because lima beans are up here, and that's what we're eating. They grow up here. And if you're eating a radish, they're down here. So we started growing lima bean plants in our classroom. And we have one lima bean growing right here. My radish, I can't really speak for the radish. I'm not doing a very good job with that. And then we also have our mealworms, and I know it's hard to see because they're under, and I don't know how to show you the under part without. Maybe if I do this, maybe y'all can see, online scholars. That might help. Look at that. Okay, so I want you to glue this in your journal as well. This page and this page. Both of them go in your science journal.